Oh, hang on. Hello, everybody. Let me just turn on my camera. Hello. Um, how is everyone? Bienvenido a todos. Welcome to Vabro with me, Vabro, and we are once again in BeamNG.Drive, and I am, as you can see, prepping to take a Peugeot 406 around the Nürburgring. So just a sort of reminder of what the top 5 of the base model challenge is. At number 5, we have the Peugeot partner. A surprise entry, to be honest, that it's so high. Then at number 4, we have the S-Class, which was in the last video. This is the long wheelbase, so only the S300 was the smallest one. And then we have the BMW Compact. It was a fun one because I absolutely trashed that car getting it around there, but I got round there in the end and ended up third. Second is one that I didn't film, but this is a the E60 BMW 5 Series, the Chris Bangle one, and then the first is the BMW 5 Series that came after that, which was a diesel 520D. So that's currently up there with the only time that I've currently managed to do under 10 minutes. So let's see if I can do it with the 406 now. This has a small engine. It's only 1.6. But it's quite a light car. Always been pretty popular as a quite a nippy, good, nippy car that handles quite well. So you never know. I mean, I don't think it's really going to do much on the straights. The mod is based on the Pessima, so it's not really going to have the authentic dynamics, but we'll see. I mean, it's a very nice looking car. I actually think this is probably one of the best European saloons ever made in terms of how it looks. Just gets it right, like the shape of that back door, like everything. Nowadays, everything's a bit fussy and all of that, but this one's just very simple, exactly what you'd want a car to be. Anyway, let's go. As you can see, not fast off the start line, but pretty piffy. I don't know, like 406 is one of those cars that, like, in Europe it went out, they stopped making it in like 1995, and that was that. But it has this, oh god, it doesn't have ABS, Jesus. But it has this life of its own that it's taken on around the rest of the world after it was stopped being made in Europe. So notably, it's very, up until very recently, it was still being made in Iran. It may even still be being made in Iran. I don't know. But it became like almost like the national car there. And it had markets in South America and in Africa. South Africa, I think, as well. It was made till quite recently. Oi, oi. And I'm treating it like crap. Oi. Oi. But I think the one that was still being made recently had been heavily facelifted, so it had more of a like 406 front end and stuff like that. But yeah, this is just one of those cars that seem to be such a good formula. It could be made cheaply that they just kept making it. I remember my friend's dad had one when I was a kid. It was similar to this, similar colour and everything, but it had a spoiler on the back. But it didn't have alloy wheels. It had these kind of wheel hubcaps. I remember that. They were always like one of those. That's what a car looks like when you drove a car. When you drew a car as a kid, that's the kind of car you drew, like a 3-box saloon. Very simple. But Peugeot had a banging lineup in the early 90s, you know. Like the 205 was still going. They had the 309, and this. That was like their sort of early 90s range, and then they introduced the 106 alongside the 205, and then partially as a replacement for it. Oh, this is not a nice car to drive without ABS. So yeah, the early 106 was like had the same sort of Peugeot look as this does, like that sort of those. I don't know what you describe those headlights as. Just sort of slightly angular. I used to love these rear headlights as well on Peugeots. This is also quite a scary car. Like without ABS, you're kind of like, It does feel like it gets quite fast. I guess that's because maybe the engine isn't hasn't been officially sort of replicated, and this is just using the engine from the Pessima, which is probably quite powerful for this size of car. Because there's a 406 sometimes parked around where I walk my dog, and it's and they're really small nowadays. Like, cars are so much bigger than they were. Like, nowadays it would be, well, I don't know, if they made a I mean, I think even if they made like a 308 saloon, the that would still be much bigger than the 405 was. The same thing when you compare super minis now. I mean, who still makes super minis, to be honest? But yeah, let's say you compare like a Seat Ibiza now to like a Ford Fiesta from the early 90s. It's closer in size to the Escort because of all the safety and making things bigger just for more space. Cars have just gradually gotten bigger. I mean, in part, I think that's why cars are so much safer now. It's because they're just chunkier. The same class of car is now significantly bigger because it's got crumple zones and it's got space for airbags and extra bracing. Shit. Fuck. Oh, I didn't break the half shaft. I thought I would. Oh, that was pretty chunky though. Oh, I've lost a hubcap. In some ways, losing a hubcap is the worst thing that can happen because it makes the car look so tatty. Like, I can deal with a damaged car, but losing a hubcap just looks cheap. And I got that mentality from my dad, I can tell you. On the Cavalier we had when we were a kid, and then the Carlton we had, every time he lost one hubcap, he would just take off the rest. He'd be like, I'd rather have none than miss one. And I kind of get that. Fortunately, it's much more common for cars nowadays to have alloy wheels, so you don't really have that problem. I mean, cars have to be really base model-y nowadays to get a hubcap. I'm trying to think of any cars that you could buy brand new that would have a... I mean, you get like... I mean, you got your Dacia Sanderos because that's cheap. But a lot of cars have like clever alloy wheel looking at... Renault still do them, actually. And they have these sort of like 5-spoke steel wheels, and then they put a very sort of chunky plastic cover over the top so it looks like an alloy wheel. Because when I was buying my car, I went to look at a Dacia Sandero, and it uses the same technique. They have like these 5-spoke alloy wheels, not alloy wheels, steel wheels, and then they put the chunky hubcap over the top, and it looks like real. It's only because I was like, I sort of was like feeling around the car, and I was like, oh, alloy wheels, and then as soon as I touched them, I was like, hang on, no, that's plastic. Steering is very tough, but I'm trying not to get distracted. I don't think I'm going to get into the top 5 with this. Car's not slow, but it's... Oh, cars without ABS, that it can go fast enough that not having ABS is an issue. I could probably turn it on and just say it's a base model with the ABS option, but I'm guessing the 405 is old enough that ABS wouldn't have been standard on a low trim model back when it came out. Because that's... Nowadays, like, you have to have traction control. But back in the 80s, like, ABS was an optional extra. Still, I mean, even up until the noughties, I think, you'd get cars that didn't have it. I think the reason they started regulating it was because they realized that, like, as more bargain brands come online to take advantage of the fact people like cheap cars, they're going to start cutting back on safety features. I mean, the obvious example would be Dacia, whose cars tend to only get 1 star because their base models don't include like driver safety systems. I mean, they all have to have traction control, I think, but they don't include the like autonomous braking or anything for when you're when something steps out in front of you or a car is stopped. Oh, come on. pulling to the left, in case you're wondering why. It's pulling to the left, but it's still understeers, because obviously it's a front-wheel drive car. And now it's pulling hard to the right. Oh yeah, that wheel, that right wheel has got stuck in there. I think it's I think it's gone. It's getting it's rubbing up against the bodywork. Ooh, I'm having to like handbrake turn around corners because it's understeering a lot, and it really doesn't want to accelerate. Oh, and it's pulling a lot to the right. I think my arch enemy is cars that don't have ABS and are fast. Because you can just about get used to like more modern cars. You can just about start getting used to more modern cars. Oh, that it's powerful enough to push through. I don't want to look at the outside because I just know it's going to be a mess. I must remember this is where the hard turn is. So we have a turn coming up here, which is like a... Oh wait, no, I'm in the wrong place. It's not here. Oh no, it is. It is. Dios mío. That crunching sound. Right, I'm gonna... Oh no! Oh crap! Oh, that's what that sound is. Like that front wheel is definitely hard dug into something. Yeah, I think I think the top of the wheel is rubbing against the trim. Oh, that's what that sounded. That actual sound though is the Okay. Let's go to photo mode. Well, what can I say? Turn on the mouse. Camera speed, fast, yes. Depth of field controls. Reduce that blur a bit and near blur a bit, and then there we go. I don't know how I'm going to fit that. Might have to actually let me go like this because I'm just worried about the screenshot I use for the thumbnail has to fit in this bumper hanging off the edge. I'm getting a bit worried that maybe it won't. Okay, there we go. Right, let's... Oh. Another one where the straight, the final straight is going to be the hardest bit because the car is just, it's pulling over. Right, now. I mean, the only thing I've got going for me is that these kind of ones, are like where I've trashed the car, I can still sometimes do well, as long as I got round, you know, without really losing pace too much. Oh man. I mean, I'm getting 140 kilometers an hour. That's not too bad. But it's only really 80 miles an hour, which isn't great. Oh no, it really does not want to. Oh. Oh, come on. Ooh, 11 foot. I mean, I don't think that was ninth. Ninth. What am I behind? I'm behind the LDA 3. I don't know if I crashed that or if I was just really slow. Behind the Fiat 500 even, and I mashed up the Fiat 500. Like it was my third attempt at the Octavia. That makes sense. And the partner, yeah. Well, how much slower? 24 seconds slower than the partner. That's not right. Should have been able to do better than that, Luke. Let's see. What should I do next then? Oh, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I was hoping to do the 405 Proud. That's one I'll do on another one. Let's see if I can find another car then. Well, that was classic. Is there anything more modern I could do? Or so much more classic that it puts that one to shame. Oh, I could do that. I could do the Astra. Oh, I could do actually the Golf. Oh, what car was that? It was a Peugeot and a Golf. Oh, I don't know if they're two. Oh, I can't wait to do the Felicia. Or maybe the Skoda Super. No, that's two saloons. I don't want to do two saloons on the same day. Let's have a look. You'll see lots of mods here that I'm probably never going to do because they're just terrible mods. They're just like literally a car body like that. That's Antia, bless it. I don't think I'll do that. Although it's actually quite fun to drive. It's missing parts and it's not great. What else could I do? I'm gonna do a Jeep. Oh, well, that's kind of similar-ish era. And this. We'll do Clio. Oh, maybe I'll do a Clio. Yeah, I'll do the Clio. Yeah. This is an interesting model, actually. It's like, from afar it looks good, but up close you can see, like, actual texture where they've, like, patched it together with, like, actual polygons. But I've hidden it with the black paint, so it doesn't look too bad. But especially around that C-pillar. Anyway, let's have a look. So this is the 1.2, or should be the 1.2. But it has a turbocharger, which the actual 1.2 doesn't. So, but I can assure you it's not a fast car. So, I don't know what the model was doing. I guess they only had a limited number of engines to choose from. And the interior is a bit wonky. But I've noticed that on some of them that they look great on the outside, but the interior is wonky. It doesn't surprise me too much. Like, there's so many curvy surfaces in here, and then imagine you model so much of it, and then you're like, you just have to do the stereo, and you're like, oh god, do I have to make the stereo look great? Come on! Oh, I also found out how to make replays. But you make the replay file, and then you play it, and then you can sort of use it as your and then you can record from that. So it's not like it doesn't record videos for you; it just records the actual gameplay. But that means you can like mess around with the camera views and stuff. Well, I'll see. I don't think it warrants it for this. But for crashes, it's quite good. This is a nice car. Yeah, I did consider one of these when I was looking for a car. Because they're 10 a penny. You can find them very easily. They look very nice as well. But like I said, I needed more space than just a Super Mini, so it was either going to be like a crossover SUV thing or an estate version of one of these. They stopped making the estate of the Clio too long ago. I think it was like 2019, maybe even earlier than that. And I didn't want a car that was too old. Oi! Oh well, it slowed me down. That's what it's there for. Come on. Yeah, sad to say that the inevitable march of progress has killed off the Super Mini estate. It used to be a Seat Ibiza one and a Skoda one. They might even, back in the day, there used to be a Volkswagen Polo one. But I don't think they stopped doing that one in Europe ages ago. Like, I think with like the second or third gen Polo, they stopped it. Third gen, I think, yeah. But the Ibiza lasted until about 2017, something like 2018 maybe. That was quite a nice looking car as well. And the Fabia lasted till about 2021, 2022, I think. Oh, come on. I mean, for me, it would have been great because, like, perfect car for like having a dog, stuff like that. But because they don't make them anymore, had to be a crossover SUV. Damn it, the car's pulling a bit to the left. It's not bad, not as bad as that 405 was, which I completely ruined. This is quite a fun car to drive. It's giving me vibes like the Fiat 500 did. Like it's like understeery and small, like a small understeery car, but actually it's back will flick pow if you like push it, because it actually has quite a lot of front wheel grip. Now come on. Come on. Oof. Come on. Faster, 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 faster. If that's kilometers per hour, then... Oh no, it's miles per hour. But still, I'm not going very fast. This car is very slow. My mind is being warped by that Peugeot partner feeling so fast. Is it really this slow, or because I crashed it? I mean, it shouldn't struggle to get to 70. 70 is the UK speed limit. And if it struggles to get to 60, then how would it ever have survived on UK motorways? Come on. Come on. Hong Kong. Hong Kong. Now. Okay, let's... Oof, WASD. Oh, that's why I need the main menu. Oh no, I need photo mode. That's it. Right, yeah, I need to pull out a little bit. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we can do a little bit of distant current blur strength, and then we can. There we go. Oh, lovely. Lovely jubbly. I don't think I need another one. I think that's perfectly fine. I hope I can beat the Fiat 500 with this one. I feel like I'm getting progressively worse. I'm definitely crushing more, I feel like. I think I keep forgetting my key piece of advice to everyone else and myself, which is don't always put your finger straight down on the trigger. Like, there's some analog range there, so if you don't need all the power right now, just gently touch it. And that way you won't sort of keep going sort of like understeering because you're adding too much power. Also, this hill kills these guys. And bear in mind that 1.2 was like the base model. And then there was a 1 litre, or maybe I think it was a 0.9cc 900cc engine turbocharged. So the 1.2 is supposed to be naturally aspirated, but it seems like it has a turbocharger in here. But like every review was always like, oh, go for the turbocharged 0.9 because it's peppier and got more power. The 1.2 is just too sluggish. This definitely feels sluggish, but it sounds quite... sounds better than it is. Who knows what goes on? Get in. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get in. Ooh, and around. Come on. There we go, there we go. Get in. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Down the hill and around. Oof, we must be getting close to where. Oh. There we go. Oh, final hairpin. Come on. No, we're going very slow. Already at 10 minutes. I don't think there's any chance. I mean, I'm skeptical I'm ever going to be that under 10 minutes from the BMW. But to be fair, even if it was a diesel and a base model of a Fiat 5 Series, that's still a very fast car compared to a base model of a Renault Clio. Because BMW obviously have to make semi-fast base cars because even though you might say, oh, well, they want to force everyone to upgrade, they also want to just sell the most cars they can. So... And they charge a ton for optional extras as well, so that's probably how they make their money up. But I think I can find a car that's got a bit better performance than some other base models. And I mean, I could do the Toyota Supra. That had a base model. I mean, it was still like 220 horsepower, but you know, it's still a base model. The basest model you could buy, I could do that. No, I would crash that for sure. I know this because I tried it the other day. I was like, oh, what would a super be like to drive around here? And like, oh my god, it was like, in real life, it would have been a write-off after like the second corner. Oh no, we're going slow. I don't think we're even going to beat the 405. Come on. Oh, well, 11th. Okay, so behind the Dacia, behind the 405, but only 13 seconds behind the 405, and I just missed out on the top 10 by 3 seconds. But I mean, those two cars have the same engine, I think. Or actually, no, they do. Yeah, they do. They're both 1.2, and I think that because that's the old Dacia, isn't it? The old Sandero. So yeah, they have the same engine. Um, so it makes sense they're about close. I'm pretty sure I did the what was I going to say? That beeping is distracting me. It's the indicators, I think. I don't know what that is actually. I'm trying to think. What is it? Change configuration. Let's have a look. Ooh, that BMW's fallen far down. Oh, I didn't crash that one going round. Okay, yeah. So we got. Oh no, that's actually no. I didn't fail against the that one. The Access is that one. I failed against the logo. That's even worse. 'Cause that's the 1.2 with with an estate, and there's me driving around a 1.2 hatchback. Ooh. I think I definitely remember smacking up the first Dacia more. Like I definitely smashed that up a lot, and I was struggling with it on the way back, on the way round. The this one this one wasn't too badly smashed up, to be honest. This one I can't remember. I don't think it was really badly mashed up. I remember I definitely smashed it up because I can remember that make editing the screenshot. But yeah, I guess actually, yeah, maybe if I got round with that Dacia pretty well, and it's empty as well. It may be a bigger car, but they're paper thin. The metal is so even if it's slightly bigger. It's still small. Anyway, I should probably wrap it up and finish there, rather than rambling on. And we'll be back next time for another base model challenge. And I've got plenty of cars actually to do. I mean, I'm now into the mist and the sort of swampy, trying to find ones that trying to find mods that look good, but also aren't just sort of vague models of cars plopped on a platform that's from the game itself. Um, Trying to find engines and dynamics that vaguely come close to the real thing, because like the Dacia one, for example, is a chef's kiss of a perfect mod where everything seems to be on point, realistic. But that 405, for example, is very clearly, as you can see when you look around the actual mod itself and the car and the bits, you can see it's based on the Pessimat. Now, they may have done lots of stuff with the engine and stuff to make it more realistic, closer to what the 405 is, but yeah, it leaves a lot of remnants of not being like ground up 405. So we'll see. No shade to the mod makers. It's difficult. I can tell it's difficult. You can just see it's a difficult thing because like there's many mods where like one thing doesn't work and it ruins the whole thing. Like glass, usually it's got a texture on it. But anyway, I'll call it a day there, and we'll see each other in the near future, hopefully. So take care. Hasta luego.